Hello guys, welcome back to Writer's Tales of the Last Adventurers. This is number 38, this is European Sun. So, we're in Tibet, on the Himalayas in 1943, so during the midst of the Second World War, interestingly. There's a group of Nazis looming around the Himalayas, searching for, led by the Lieutenant Holson, and plan to rob the most valuable riches ever from a monastery that's just within the Himalayas somewhere. But in doing so, in the meantime, they end up going to the protagonists who are actually having a picnic up in the Himalayas for some strange, bizarre reason. I think it's like soaking in the views, looking at the scenery, and thought we can just have a picnic up here, on the cliff edge or something. But they end up being taken to this Tibetan monastery, and with a group of Nazis behind with guns and everything else, and just take them hostage, whatever, or escorts them to the Himalayas, open up, and they take siege of the monastery. Of course, they kill the monks, shoot them dead, and just basically rob everything else, like entirely. All these sort of riches, everything else is like, all the wanting, jewelry, bits and pieces, some certain things that for the Buddhist monks tend to use, really, so they tend to steal that. Holson finds this what do you call it, like a little capsule or something, like a box or something. Well, maybe like a box, but inside contains a beating black heart that's alive. He holds it like in vain manner, like in absolute vain, just observes it. Then he eats it. He eats the heart and scoffs it down. And that's when the possession starts. Because this heart, beaten black heart, belongs to a dead sorcerer known as Havastage. Havastage was a medicine man doing centuries ago, and over time he ended up poisoning his people, of course, civilians, locals, using medicine, everything else, but also black magic as well. He had been tampering with the whole black magic, a little bit of witchcraft as well. He's been tampering with that sort of stuff. He has, and he ended up being executed. But his heart remained safe and also kept away for no one to actually, discover it, because they believe that it actually had powers beyond belief. Like like the dark magic powers in his soul is sort of in that heart, really, like what's left of it. And obviously, he's been freed. Because in order to do that, you have to take over someone's host. The heart has to somehow possess somebody to eat the heart, then get possessed fully. So Holson becomes Havastage, really, and plans to just go AWOL. Take revenge on his people and just, again, go around the world, very much doing what he does, like cause bloodshed, really. And this involves, a very big major standoff with, the whole protagonist, of course, with the whole black magic element, of course. The idea this man's quite powerful and everything else with a sort of type of style. You've also got Nazis who are like Nazi soldiers who are Holson's men, are completely wasted, drunk, because when they try to take them hostage or capture them, really, or keep them hold, they end up getting drunk on their wine, very much. Like they carry some kind of wine with them and they get totally pissed and everything else. So they're quite, jolly, but also quite insane as well. Like going and crazy. Also heavily armed as well. So that's one major thing. So there we go. On that sort of bit. So ends up getting defeated, and there we go, really. But the monastery stays empty because no one ever inhabits it again, really. So it's just been left there in the wasteland, of course, until whenever someone discovers it, walking or observing or something, who knows. So that's European Sun. So this story has a very interesting conception, really. Interesting origin of it, actually. Originally, this story was meant to be part of the 50 Situations Lion, my sort of solo writer's tales stuff I've been doing, you know, now and again, really, like in a couple of these lots. So it was originally, you know, one of those actually, like a World War II centric horror story, really. Then it just somehow melded together with the Last Adventurers, so it ended up becoming that part of the story, really. So, you know, part of its line and everything else. It's like, okay, I thought it'd be interesting. Of course, the title comes from a Velvet Underground song from the very first album, Velvet Underground Nico from 1967. To be fair, I was very hesitant of doing a World War II story because I know they were quite popular during the time, especially during when New Who came back. They were more popular doing them, really, because you had stuff like Emperor's Child and the Doctor Dances, you've had the Doctor, the Wit and the Wardrobe, you've also had Victory of the Daleks. You know, there's always these stories that always take place during World War II, and I didn't want to follow the trend, really. So to make it different, I thought maybe set it, you know, in a totally different place, really, even though, you know, use that story. You know, it's set in whenever, in 1943. I think nothing has ever been mentioned set in 1943, really. So I thought, why not? And do it somewhere completely different. So maybe Tibet, whatever. So it ends up there, really. You know, rather than going like in maybe, say, in Britain or Germany or whatever, or maybe the States or whatever. Just anything like that. Really. Sort of, again, change your face. It's a bit, again, well, to be fair, it has a similar thing to like the Bomb of Snowmen, really, from Troughton's era. Very similar type thing. You know, but instead you have like a raving sort of like black magic, you know, sorcerer, and how it's a German Nazi's body. So fair enough. You know, it's a bit strange in that regard, but interesting enough. Nothing else to say about this one. It was just like a leftover from the my solo stuff's 50 situations, and there's end up here. There's another story that's is coming soon that is a similar thing, really, but I'll get to that eventually. Thank you guys for watching. As always, see you for the next video, and goodbye.